Welcome back to Comfy Compositing. If you come from a traditional VFX background, you already know the biggest problem with AI for videos right now. It's so difficult to control. Standard image to video models behave like a slot machine. You put in a prompt, pull the lever, and hope. Ask a car to drift left. The AI might slide the entire image, spin the car in place, or turn it into a completely different vehicle. As compositors, that's useless. We don't want lucky guesses. We want solid animation. We want motion trajectories. And we want to direct the shot. Today, we fix that. I am going to show you a hybrid workflow that combines traditional compositing in Nuke with cutting edge AI research to give us directable motion. This is time to move, or TTM, a technique that lets you define motion path for specific objects in a static or moving image. But we are not just drawing arrows. I'll show you a professional workflow using ugly, rough animation blocking from Nuke or After Effects to drive a high fidelity photoreal output in Comfyui using Wan 2.2. This is the ultimate way to take control of motion in AI video generation. So let's dive in. Let's look at this example. I saw this great footage on Pexels of a SUV riding in the desert, and I thought it would look great if it was a rally car kicking dust everywhere. So I thought maybe I can try something in Comfy UI, and then I found TTM. Well, you guys know Google View or Kling doesn't have this capability, but Comfy UI, which is an open source and completely free to use, has this capability to direct this kind of animation. So I made a single frame from Google View, and then I dragged it, and it looked something like this. You see, it's pretty static. Everything else is moving, but the truck is static with the dust as well. And then I run through the TTM workflow, which we will go over in a minute. You'll get something like this. Now, a full disclaimer, this is essentially an image to video workflow because you're giving a start and end image. And then this video only works as a guidance for the animation. And we also provide the alpha, which helps with the guidance. But this essentially is an image to video workflow. Um, so this is one example. Let's look at the next example. So this can not only do CG like animation, but it can also do simulations. For example, in this one, I did a mock-up of a paper burning effect. Very simple. I stacked up a bunch of fire elements, and then I used a roto to reveal. So I got something like this. And when I run it through time to move, I get something like this. Now, there are some extra frames at the end which we can trim, but everything else looks pretty good. And it has added the paper burning effect plus the blue flames. And based on the prompt was adding this part also to the fire. So it has done that as well. And you can see the lighting interaction and stuff, which is pretty phenomenal. All right, let's look at the next example. So I found this image, I think on Pixels as well. And then I thought, what if I want to make the car drift? So first thing I did was made a clean plate, and then I masked out the car. And then I used a 3D card 3D which sort of puts the card on a 3D plane, and then you can rotate the plane however you like it. So I did a very basic car motion to show that it was sort of making a 360 drift and leaving the frame. So I got something like this. So yeah, based on the prompts, I also added to add some drifting smoke from the tire. So it did that as well. And it keeps the shape of the car and everything. So, and then you can also refine it even more to how you like it. Now let's jump into the Comfyui and let me show you the workflow. So you can download the workflow link from my description of this video, and then you can drag and drop it directly in Comfyui. When you drag and drop it, you might see a bunch of red nodes. That means you are missing some custom nodes. So it will ask you to install it. Please click on the install button, let it do its thing, and then once it's done installing, restart the Comfyui, and you will have this workflow running. So let's first talk about the models. Um, there are no new models in this. If you have used Wan 2.2, we're using the exact same Wan 2.2 image to video models. Like I said, that this is an image to video workflow. And then we have the LiteX LoRa. This is a D-Cell LoRa, so it will speed up the step counts, which will give you the output in 6 or 8 steps. And then we are using the regular PF16 VAE file, and then UMT um, clip vision file. And then these are the folder locations. If you already do not have these, so please download. You can click on these and then it will take you to the download page. Then from there, download it and put it in these folders. Also, if you are running on low VRAM, please download the GGUF models and uh, use the models accordingly to your computer. So one thing I have gotten a lot of questions that you're getting error for Sage Attention and Triton. So that is because you do not have Sage Attention installed. So in that case, you disconnect these two and you do not plug this in to the one model loader node. Or if you have it, then you can connect these over here. This will speed up the process of generating the videos. But if you don't, you'll still be able to use it. So once you place the models, please go ahead and select them over here with the precision. So next is the one lightning LoRa. This will speed up the generation. You can go up to 3, or you can tone it down to 0, but then you'd have to crank up the steps. And then 3 is okay for me. If you're seeing some weird crunchy results, you can drop this down to 2 and then bump up the steps a bit from 6 to 8 or 8 to 10, something like that. And then this is the block swap. If you are running, let's say, around 16 gigs of VRAM, you can set this to 40 or 20. You'd have to try it out based on your VRAM. But if you're running more than 24, you can leave it to 0. So yeah, this would help you from not getting the out of memory error. And then this is a regular text encoder and VAE. So this is loading the model, and then next is loading your videos, images, and alpha. So I created this one from Nuke, as I've already shown. You can render out any MP4 in H.264 codec. You'll be able to read it over here. And then once you read it, you need to set your FPS. I've left the original FPS, which was 24 over here, but you can change it to 16 if you want. And then I change from 1080p to 832 by 480 for demo purposes, but you can easily render 720p based on your VRAMs again. And then same thing over here. Now all of these resize nodes will take the um, custom width and height from your input. So you just need to put in ones, including the frame rate as well. So once you type in here, it will cascade the numbers throughout the workflow. So you don't have to change anywhere again. So this is the first frame, and then this is the last frame, which I thought it would help with the process. I generated using Google VO, but you can use uh, Z Image Turbo, or you can use Flux 2, or whatever you like, or Quen, whatever you like. And then this is your alpha or matte, black and white. Again, this will do all the image size conversion and everything, so you don't have to worry about it. You just need to upload everything. And then let's go to the next step, prompting. So as you know me, I'm a big fan of Quen VL. So it reads the rough animation video, and you give a very basic prompt of what you want. You can ask it a lot more. It's very smart, like ChatGPT, and it will modify the prompt to your liking, and then you can paste in here. And then next one is yes, so this is the most important part. By the way, all of these green nodes is what you have to um, double check if you're not getting a proper expected result. Let's go over the first important setting. This is noise augmentation strength. This is more like a creative slider. If you leave it 0, that means it will stick to the prompt. It will stick to the input images, the alpha that you provided, the start image, end image, everything. But then if you crank this up, it will try to add its own creativity. But then in return, you might get better output in terms of artifacts. So you will get less artifacts. And then this is another very important um, setting you need to update if you're using let's say if your input is around 81 frames or like around that number, then you can leave it to 1 to 2. But if you're seeing that the output is not similar to the rough animation input, then you need to crank it up. You can go to 4 and 5 steps, which is, I think, pretty high number. But start from 1 to 2, and if the animation is not what the reference animation is, the output is not what your input video is, then you can change it to 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 and so on. And then next is the shift values. These are also very important. If you want higher detail, um, then you would have to lower the shift number. This will change the sigma of denoising and give you more detail, but sometimes it can overdo it. So you have to maintain a fine balance, and you have to try it out a multiple times to get a decent output. And sometimes I've noticed the scheduler can also help you with getting a better result. So you can try DMPP plus STE, which is default, and then you can try DMP plus plus, UniPC, and Euler. So these are most of the ones that I have tried, and sometimes I've gotten better results. Again, this is a very organic thing. You would have to try out yourself to find a decent balance of all of these settings. So, and then you don't have to do any of this, don't have to worry about it. And then, yes, after that, just queue it, and it will take, depending on your VRAM, it will take like 5 to 10 minutes, and you should see the output. So this is mostly it for the workflow. And please drop in the comments if you need any more explanation on any of these nodes or parts of the workflow that we talked about. I hope you enjoyed that workflow. Now, I have a challenge for you. I want to see how you use this workflow. Take a static photo. It could be an old project, a stock photo, or just a picture of your own dog. And use this workflow to direct the motion. Make a car drift, make a person walk, or grow a simulation. It could be fire, water, snow, whatever you like. Post your best results on LinkedIn and tag Comfy Compositing, or drop a link in the comments below. I'll be reviewing the most creative uses of time to move in the future community post. I've put the workflow file in the description below. I highly encourage you to try the Nuke blocking method. It could be even in After Effects. It doesn't matter. It makes a world of a difference. If you want to see more practical, production focused AI workflows, hit subscribe. I'm Ricky and this is Comfy Compositing, and I'll see you in the next one.